What's up, y'all? All right. Yeah, that was the that was the beat I made on the last stream, I think. Which turned out pretty sick, but yeah, it's basically just like a loop. I'm not that great at like turning tracks on this thing into like full blown songs, but getting better. Let's listen to one more M8 one that I created. Let me load it up here. New World 2, which is the sequel to New World 1, if you're not familiar. Yeah, this one turned out pretty sick. And I'm going to point out right off the bat here, you can see that the tempo is 176, which is very high. But if you divide that by 2, that's 88. So it's really 88 BPM, but I doubled the BPM to get this like extra step resolution, which is something I'll probably get into a little bit later. But yeah, let's take a listen here. Nice. Okay, cool. That was another one that I made just the other day. And you can tell I built it out a little bit more on this one. It's got a couple different rows and whatever. Usually I just work on the top row, but this one I tried to kind of turn into something with a little bit more of a arrangement or sequence. But yeah, so that's the M8, just some beats that I was playing on there. But I do have a special project today that I'm going to get into, which is trying to figure out how to time stretch on the Lofi12XT. Let me click this button here. which we've got hidden here, is the Lofi12XT. And yeah, so basically, I think that there's a way to do it on this thing where you can use like a LFO or something to time stretch. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to do that kind of technique on the M8 just to get familiar with it, remind myself how it goes. And then we're going to switch over to the Lofi12XT and see if I can figure it out there. But the M8 time stretching trick, LFO trick, is pretty well documented, so it's not like any earth-shattering news or anything, but it is pretty interesting how it works. So let's go ahead and get something loaded up here. Go new, loose changes, sure, that's fine. Create a new phrase, and we are going to sampler load drum break. Take a look here. Yeah, this is just a regular old drum break. It's 162 BPM apparently, which is much higher than I normally work at, but I don't know, maybe when I time stretch it I'll be able to bring it down to like kind of hip hop range or whatever. But let's take a listen. Wow, that thing is lightning fast. Okay, so yeah, that's what it sounds like. And that's, well, let me count the bars really quick actually. Okay, so it's 4 bars. Make a note of that so I don't forget. Okie dokie. And yeah, what we're doing here is we are going to jump over to the mod page. And the way that this works is you basically have an LFO that's controlling like the playhead essentially. So what we're doing is we're modulating the sample start time. So let me just change that real quick. So destination 1, did I skip it? Loop start. Yeah, so it's going to be the loop start, and we're going to enable a loop mode playback, so it'll basically start the drum break at a certain point during the loop. Okay, so we got loop start. The amount, I think we keep the same. The oscillator needs to be ramp up. Sorry, I'm like checking my notes here. And then the trig needs to be set to retrigger so that every time the sample starts playing, it resets the LFO so it doesn't get out of phase or whatever. And then trig set frequency to the number of bars, so times 10. So as I mentioned earlier, we got 4 bars. So we're gonna bring it up to 40. And then I think that's everything I need to do in the mod page. Then I'm going to put a note down here. And let me change the tempo too. Bring it up to 162, which is what the break's at, so that we can see what it sounds like as we move it down. Okay, and then just a couple final changes I need to make on the instrument page. So the first one is that I need to change the play mode to forward loop. Yep. And then I also need to set the length to 0. I think the reason why that is because the playhead's going to be constantly moving, so I think if you have the length longer than 0, it just like can get out of sync or something. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure it'll work now when I press play. Let's bring the tempo down and see. And then I think I have to change the length to like kind of fine tune it a little bit or something. Oh man, that sounds super janky. Hey, Samurai Chill, what's up, dude? Well, I don't know. Allegedly, this is how this works. So maybe I'm just like too low of a tempo for it. I mean, it's kind of time stretched. Like bringing it from 160 to 117, that's a feat in and of itself. So the fact that it's still playing semi-normal, quote unquote, it's a good sign. I'm not really sure what the length does, but you can modify it a little bit. Oh, that's what's up. All right, so that's kind of how the time stretch trick works on the M8. So now that we've oriented ourselves into the time stretch mindset, we are going to go through the same exercise, but we're going to try it on the the Lofi12XT. See if we can get it to work. All right, switching it up here, beat to D. All right. Oh, actually, I had a beat on here. Let me just play this really quick. Dude, heck yeah, I appreciate that. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah, a lot of the instruments on this one were just like, here, let me go to the sound page. It was a lot of just, like, what do you call it? Oscillator waves. I did a video like, I don't know, maybe a month ago or 2 months ago or something about how to use your Lofi12XT as a synthesizer by loading up these like wave shape form things. Like this is a triangle wave, and then there's, I was talking about this on the last stream too. Sine wave, I don't know what the heck that kind of wave is. It looks super janky. And then this is the bass. It's a square wave, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so you can make really cool sounds. Like all of these sounds are just like the kind of oscillator synthesizer type sounds. And then I had this drum break on track 6. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Use your Lofi12XT as a synthesizer. Try it out sometime. But yeah, well, we're gonna load up a new project or a new pattern though. And we're gonna be working with the same drum break that we were using over here, which is the 162 BPM drum break. So let's get that loaded up here, which I have to go to my project, convert, break. 24 kilohertz sounds fine, I guess. Yeah. I'm not too familiar with the convert function on this thing. I've used it a couple times. Oh, no, do not delete it. So now I think it'll be the bottom of this list. Oh crap, where did it go? Mix, mix. Oh man, this is embarrassing. Where is it? Oh, maybe I have to like click this refresh button. Or no, that's for tags. Oh, press B. Let me try this one. Update. Take a few min. Come on, bro. I literally just imported this thing. Let me try it one more time. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so function, project, convert audio. I want to convert this drum break, conducted. Convert it. Okay. Delete original files, no. So it claims it's done. This is the pool. It's over here. Yeah, I'm like, I really don't use this convert audio function enough to know exactly how it works. Oh, there we go. Dude, it's got to be one of these probably. And you can audition. Maybe not. Triangle. These are all like previous conversions I did. And then these are projects. Yeah, this is it's kind of tricky. Not really sure how this works. Weeks. Cool. All right, what we're going to do is we are going to try to refresh. I think. Where was I even? Oh, you know what? Maybe it's in the project folder. No. Yo, that's a lot of folders though. All right, so function project. We're going to select a new one. Brand spanking new. No. And then, yeah, hopefully from here I can figure it out because this is, it's a little challenging, I will say. Yeah, normally with this thing, I just like record samples into it, just like plug into the line in and get busy. But trying this out because I think what's going to be important for this time stretch trick is for the sample to be a perfect loop. So the length of it is going to kind of play a factor into it. So I want to make sure that I get it straight from the source, which is what I'm trying here. Almost done. All right. Project. Convert audio. Conducted 162. Convert it. Yes. Do not delete. Done. And then I go to load it. Just takes me to the pool. The heck, bro? Beats. Converted. Video, projects, 256, 255. All right, we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. So I am going to plug the line in. Gosh, I hope this doesn't make a lot of noise, but we'll find out. And then we're going to plug this into the Lofi12XT. All right, and then I'm going to press play, or yeah, here, I'll just audition it over here. Oh man, sorry about that, guys. I think it might have like doubled the audio or something. What should I do now? Maybe I can click this mute button. Hopefully that sounds normal to you. Good people out there. So I'm gonna record. Yeah, we're definitely getting it in there. So real quick here. Press it, press it. Okay, then I'll unmute. All right, we're back in business here. So we've got the drum break on the Lofi12XT. Sounds pretty grimy. Okay, but we want to slow it down, time stretch it, I mean, so that it's not like, because yeah, if I wanted to get this to like sort of a regular lower pitch, it would change the sound and it would kind of sound a little janky. Let's take a listen actually. So function B, bring it down. Oh man, I got this thing on a velocity sensitivity. Let me turn it off. Actually sounds kind of dope, but we are still on a mission to try and time stretch this thing, so let's get it back to 0. And then I'm going to set the BPM to 162, which is the same BPM as the sample. So theoretically it'll be able to loop. All right. And now we enter the uncharted territory. So I'm going to save so that we have a copy of this thing. Okay, so time stretching 101 here. If we're trying to use the same trick that I used on the M8, I'm going to need to use modulation. So we've got the modulator here, and the destination for this is going to need to be the sample start time. And then, let's see, what would I do next? I think the way it works, this whole method borrows from this other way of time stretching using an LFO, which comes from the Electron products, the Digitact and etc. So I'm pretty sure on those devices you have to just like input a bunch of steps. Let me do that. Okay, and then I think this step needs to re-trigger the LFO, which is what we set this mode to, the ramp up mode, I think. Okay, and then sounds super janky. So we're not there yet. The next thing I need to do is change this wave shape. And on this, we were using a ramp up wave, but on the Digitact, you use a saw wave. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a saw wave. But the tricky thing about this is that the saw wave starts like at the bottom, and then it goes up to 0, and then it goes past 0. So because of that, I think we have to like also change the start time of the sample. Here, let me try doing this like in the middle. Ah, shoot. Okay. Bro, what the heck? What's this thing doing? All right, I think this is... Oh man, I shouldn't have even modulated it. Now it's like super... Okay. Start over again. We're gonna load the sample up. Voice off. Okay, so we're starting this at halfway through the sample. Gosh darn it. I'm just trying to zoom out. Okay, zoom out. Yeah, these Sonicware Lofi12XT knobs, sometimes you gotta do battle with them. Get it to do what you want. It'd be very tricky. Okay, so we're starting this thing halfway. We're gonna go through the motions again. Modulation. We're gonna set this to a saw wave. We are going to go to the detail page. Why did I do that? Oh yeah, so let me clear this one. All right, so we're gonna put steps on every single, or notes on each step, because what that's gonna do is if you have a note on each step, that's what's gonna move the playhead basically, is every time the sequence goes past the note, it'll like move the playhead a little bit further, I think. So that's how it works in my mind. We'll see if that's how it works in real life. Okay, and then for this step, I need to do that retrigger thing that I was talking about. Hold it, turn it on. That's how you do parameter locking. Okay, now let's listen and see what it does. Breaking out the AK-47 over here. Yeah, it's got kind of a machine gun quality to it, I would say. But there's more to try out here. So let's why is it doing this? Maybe I need to, it looks like the modulation is maybe happening too fast. Like it needs to be like a lot slower. So what I'm going to try to do is lower it. All right, that's 0. Let me try doing like 8, I guess. No. Still sounds the same. What the heck? Maybe I have to lower the depth. Bro, this whole time I wasn't even modulating the sample start time. The destination is off. Oh my gosh, this is like ridiculous that I wasn't even doing it the whole time. Okay, we're gonna actually select sample start time. So now it's probably gonna do something crazy. I don't even know. It's doing something. It sounds kind of time stretchy, but it's definitely not playing through the whole break, which is what I was trying to get it to do. Which means I think the rate is too low. Let me try turning it up. We're getting somewhere. I'll try turning the rate up more, I guess. All right, that's looping in kind of a weird way, but it's sort of the tempo I would expect, I guess. I mean, it's supposed to be at 162, and that sounds pretty fast, so... Pretty weird. Let me try lowering the tempo, and we'll see what that does. Does not seem to have any noticeable effect. Let's go back to the mod page. We're going to keep the tempo at 116, which is like basically 50 less than what it normally is. Oh man, okay, so we've got the saw wave. Oh, you know what? Here's an interesting thing to do. So what we can do is when I press play, we'll take a look at the waveform and see what the playhead's actually doing. This will give us a good idea. So let me go to the waveform page. This is zoomed out all the way, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. So let's see what happens. So it's like jumping back, and then it skips forward, and then it kind of has a normal movement to it. Normal-ish, I guess. Okay, so we'll go back to modulation. Maybe... I guess... Yeah, I'm like so out of ideas here. This is like, it's a little bit above my pay grade trying to figure this stuff out. That sounds kind of normal, maybe. But it's supposed to be 116 BPM, so it's supposed to be like stretched really low. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure this out. Allegedly, there's a way to do this, but not entirely sure how it's done. I'm going to try, like, maybe... I'm going to try a couple other things. So another thing we can do is right now, each step, they're like 1/16 notes, I guess. There's 16 steps per, go around. But we can increase the resolution by changing the note, which is controlled with the B knob. So right now it's set to 1/16th. We can set it to something higher, 1/32. There we go. We could try 1/32 and see if that changes anything, because theoretically what that would mean is that it would move through this much quicker, I think. Yeah. So it's flying through it. Yeah, look at that thing. It's like flickering like crazy. We're getting more time stretchy behavior. Is that 92 BPM? No, not really. That kind of sounds time stretched. I mean, it sounds time stretched as heck. It kind of sounds like it's looping correctly, because like the kick is happening here on step 1, and then the snare is happening on step 9. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the waveform. Wow, it actually does seem like it's following what I would describe as like the normal playthrough. Yeah, I think my findings are inconclusive here. There seems to be some kind of method of hacky time stretching on this thing, but it's like there's so many variables that it probably just doesn't seem like it's worth the effort. I would probably just time stretch on something else if that's your prerogative to time stretch. But okay, so that was just a little R&D that I wanted to do before we got into actually making a beat. So that's that. Let's I guess it doesn't hurt to just go to a different pattern here. Let's go to pattern, whatever, 9? Yeah. All right, so we'll start on pattern 9. We're gonna get some samples loaded up here, and we'll be playing stuff from the M8. And yeah, just like before, I'll probably just be like recording stuff into this. So let's take a look at what we got here, and I'm gonna mute this thing. Nope. Okay, so the sample, let's load it up. New. Sampler. Songs. All right, so I had a sample in mind for tonight's session, which is M8. I think it's Raindrops. Let's listen. That's where it ends. I think it might be a little too long for the Lofi12XT, to be honest, but we'll give it a shot, see what it does. Because the thing about this is that you really only get 15 sample slices. Because yeah, when you're in slice mode, you can use these 8 tracks and these 7 buttons, but you can't do more than that. So sometimes it's a little hard to chop like longer samples because you're stuck with just 15 slots. There is like kind of a workaround to that, which maybe we'll get into once I record this, but yeah, let's get this sample onto this device and then we'll start working with it. So one thing that I want to do here is pitch it up, and that's because this device only has 40 seconds of sample time. So we can get some extra mileage if we speed up the sample here, and then we can pitch it back down here. It's a pretty classic sampling technique. I'm sure you're familiar. That should work. So let's go to record. Or let me see the levels actually. It's kind of low, but I think it'll normalize it when I record it, so let's try that. Okie dokie, beep bop boop. And then we're gonna pitch it down. I brought it up. I don't even know how many semitones that is. I think it was 9. I'm pretty sure I just counted 9. Okay, function, click, bring it down to -9. Yeah, so definitely -9 is the number there. Might change it later, depending on how we feel. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into slice mode here. Voice. Change it to slice. And then we can punch in some lazy chops, see what we like. Yeah, so you can see here, oh, let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, we got through pretty much most of the sample. But yeah, I used every single available slice. So, I mean, yeah, if I wanted to like fine tune some of the slices or make them even more fine, I wouldn't even have the slots to do it. I'd have to use some tricks up my sleeve. But we might get into that later, might not. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. Let me just like kind of play them out and make sure they all sound good. Alrighty, I think we can make this work. And then we are going to add these all to a mute group so that when we play them, they'll cut each other off, which will make playing the sequence a little bit easier. So to do that, you just have to press each one and then turn this A knob. Oops. All right, so that was a noisy mess, but now when I tap through them, they'll cut each other off. I'm just trying to figure out what slices I like. They all sound pretty cool, but I need to come up with the little basic pattern. Then I'll add some drums, and then we can start doing some other chops and stuff too. Wow, I really like this pad. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe just a couple of these, and then one of these maybe. Not even sure what tempo we are working in here, so maybe I'll just drop it down to like 86, and then we'll, or maybe a little snappier. Let's do 80, and we'll do 90. See what that's up. What's this? Oh, here we go. Maybe even higher. I don't know. Whoops. Yo, Jamie Rice, what's up, man? All right, let's all right, this loop is sounding pretty pretty loopy. I'm vibing with it. We're gonna try and get some drums in the mix here, which I'm gonna load off of the M8 as I normally do. See what we got here. Sampler, load. Start with the snare. Samples, drums. Yeah, play it. Kind of digging this one. It's it kind of sounds like a flam, or there's something weird going on with it. Got a lot of low end, but we'll take it. Let me normalize it. We're gonna record it in. Nice. So I just adjusted the envelope a little bit so that it had less of a tail and it kind of sounds a little snappier, I guess. So yeah, that's the snare. Let's see if we can find a kick. This one sounds a little low, but I think if we pump it up with some effects or something, it might sound sick. Normalize, please. Really got to go through my whole sample library and normalize some of this stuff so it's not so quiet. But yeah, I think this will work. Let's try it out. Try this on for size. It's got kind of like something going on at the end too, which I'll have to fix with the envelope as well. Okay. Yeah, we cooking. I tried pitching it down a bit. Got kind of like a high end that I need to figure out how to get rid of. Maybe we'll try putting a low pass filter on it. Oh, you hear that though? It got pretty beefy. All right, let's I could do resonance too to like really kind of crank it. Y'all hear that? I know y'all hear that. That's fat. All right, let's get this punched in. Definitely trying the boom bap pattern here. So one here, make this one volume, decrease. We're gonna micro time this one to like 30, 28. Find a hi-hat next. We're gonna keep that one in our pocket. Keep shopping for a closed one though. Or, you know what, actually, we could try something with the, oh man, where did that go? Okay, I'm gonna try something with this hi-hat, which is something I don't normally do, and that is to try to adjust the envelope to make it sound like a closed hi-hat, and then kind of open it up at certain moments in the beat. So let me get this recorded in, and then I'll teach you about what I'm talking about. Sounds pretty good, I guess. Record, dot. Okay, and then just to demonstrate this, I'm going to turn sound. I'm going to turn velocity sensitivity off. So when I press the pad, it'll be the max volume. Makes it easier to hear because it is a little bit quiet, this one. So you can hear it's an open hat, sort of. But if we go to the amp page and then you change the envelope, we're going to do attack release. So you get that closed hi-hat kind of sound, right? Let's take a listen. I might have to pitch it down or something. So let's just punch some notes in and then I'll tell you more about this trick that I'm doing in a second. So we're just gonna, I guess I'll record it in live. Yeah. I'll try the pitch too. All right, -1 sounds pretty good. So let's say that I wanted to have an open hi-hat right here. I'm gonna dial it in. So now, right now the envelope is cutting off pretty quick, as you know, which makes it sound like a closed hat. But what you can do is you can parameter lock by holding the step down, and then you turn the knob of whatever parameter that you want to be changed for that step. So for this step, we're gonna do the release of the envelope. And we're gonna crank it, bring it way out, so that it sounds like the normal sample, which was a little bit more of an open hat. Yeah, so you hear the pattern, it's like, it's so this kind of opened it up a little bit. And we could deploy that at like various parts of the sequence to kind of vary things up a little bit. In fact, you could even change just the lower envelope as well for like some of the normal closed hi-hats. Like for instance, let's go to, back out of this. Let's do like this one. So I can do this one, and then I can change the envelope to be a little bit wider. Bring it down to 48. This one, 44. Maybe this one I want to just really close out. See how that sounds. Yeah, so it gets a little interesting, and that one sounded kind of goofy, so I'm gonna delete that. Function clear. Yep. Turn velocity sensitivity back on so that we can get a little bit of a fluctuation in the level of the hats. So this is probably going to sound super janky, but let's take a listen. Not so bad. Screwed that up. I'm gonna try and add an effect to these. Nice. So yeah, I like adding the bit crusher, which is just called crusher, effect to hi-hats, just because it like kind of it adds a little bit of color to the hi-hat. Usually it's got kind of higher frequencies anyway, so it can give you an interesting sound that kind of helps maybe make it a little bit less resonant and a little more warm, I guess is the best way to describe it. So yeah, that's the hi-hat track. That sounded pretty all right. Let's see what else we can do here. Nice, just trying to vary up the kick pattern a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is copy it by going to config, holding the function button down, extending the length, which is going to double all the steps. And then from here, I'll just delete some from one and delete some from the other copies that I have. Ooh, here we go. All right, so we've got a basic drum pattern. We've got our sample chops sounding kind of choppy. Maybe I'll try and do something new with the sample chops now that I got the drums, because it'll be easier to play something out if I can hear the drums. So we're going to save a copy of this. And in the copy, I'm going to delete the sample chop notes. And then now I'm just going to try and play something else, see what's up. That sounds pretty groovy. Let me extend the length here. Oh, it's already 32. are sounding pretty sick. All right, yeah, I definitely want this thing to like kind of bridge something somewhere. So let's see if I can get that recorded in a semi-decent manner. And I'm also going to save this because we like to save. We don't like to lose our progress. All right. Too early. All right, that sounded pretty sick. And then this one too, if it comes in too much, it's gonna sound too, I don't know, like you'll get too used to it. So I'm gonna put this parameter lockdown trigger, which is I was doing this on the last stream and it turned out pretty sick. Basically, you can parameter lock the % chance that a note will play. So what you can do is have it be, less than 100% chance, because if it's 100, it's going to play every time, obviously. So what I'm going to do with this note is I'm going to have it be a 50% trigger. So like every other time, basically, theoretically, mathematically, it would play. So let's, so you can hold the step down, then you turn the knob, bring it down to 50%, so it's not doing it every single time. And then I'm going to do the note before it too. Like, I don't know, the parameter locks on this thing are kind of weird. Sometimes it's a little finicky. The reason why I'm putting it before as well is because I think the note is actually on this step, even though you see it here. And the reason why is because the micro timing is negative. So I think it's pushing it on the note previously. So you have to have the parameter lock on this one. And then I'm putting it on this one just in case. So let's take a listen and see if it like actually skips it. Nice. So yeah, I brought the level down a little bit because those are higher notes, so they're a little easier to hear. So I wanted to make it a little quieter. And then it does get kind of repetitive when it's like playing these first two notes. The donna donna donna. So what I'm going to try and do is let's see if we can lower the pitch of one of them maybe, and if that sounds semi-reasonably decent. So yeah, same thing as before. We're going to do the parameter lock. So what I need to do is hold the step down. Then I turn the knob that I want to change for that step. We'll try -11, which would be 2 semitones down. See what happens. Oh, I was on page 2. Holy crap. All right, so let me undo that. Oh, and then I'm going to save as well. Okay, so back on page 1. We're going to try and hold the step down, -11. So the pitch went down for like a second. Let me try doing it the step after as well. Let me try doing this one -2 as well. See what that's all about. kind of just want to do them all -2. That I like the sound of it. It's kind of interesting. What we'll do is I am going to extend the sequence, config, function, turn the A knob, boom. And then from here, I think I'm gonna have the first time it plays through, the pitch is gonna be normal, and then the second time the pitch will go down. So it's like a little bit of variety. So right now we're on the first 32 or first 16 steps. So I'm gonna select this note, delete the pitch automation that I did, function clear, right? Function clear, function clear, function clear. All right, let's take a listen. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's a nice, decent bit of variety. Ooh, and yeah, this will make for a good, like, maybe like a sort of bridge type section of the song, perhaps, or maybe the hook. I don't know. I'll listen to the other pattern and see how it kind of relates to it. Yeah, so maybe I need to just jazz up the first pattern a little bit. It's kind of sounding a little stale. So let's see. So right now I'm playing. All right, so yeah, this pad I'll be able to just jam on, so I'm just gonna delete this stuff. Okie dokie. These high keys sound really sick in these pads, but I don't really know how to like sequence them. Seems like I got the timing a little bit off or something. Let me try and figure it out. can't figure out what I want to put right here. Maybe it doesn't need anything right there. Let me listen. Yeah, maybe this thing. It's a nice way to bridge it. Okay, cool. So yeah, I got 50% trigger on this one, so it comes in every now and then. So I think this part of it is sounding pretty good. What we need to do now is start thinking about some more layers. Let me think. So there's like this organ, piano. And it kind of has its own bass too, which I could use a high pass filter and get rid of that and play my own bass, but I don't know, it sounds pretty chill, I guess. Maybe we'll try doing some synthesis and add like a square wave on it or something, or sine wave. Hopefully this doesn't sound too bad, but let's try and test it out here. Don't always have to work with samples, sometimes you can synthesize. So, oh man, this thing, my folders are all jacked up now. Let's take a look at this is a triangle wave, so we'll try that. Okay. Do it, I say. You load selected. There you go. All right, so you have to enable loop mode by pushing this button, the right auxiliary button. Sounded pretty fat, like some bass or something. But we'll play it a little higher in the keys. Let's see. Then I want to turn off 12-bit mode. Turn velocity sensitivity off for now. I might turn it on later. That's pretty loud. Go to the amp page. Turn it down. Okay, and then from here I can turn on the envelope so there's a little bit of release. The note kind of lingers. And go to pad. Alright, not sure what key the sample's in, but we'll figure it out. Music theory is so bad. Okay, these keys sound fine, but we gotta jazz it up even more. So let me go to the filter, low pass. I kind of want it to do like kind of a wow wow, like a wah type thing. I should be able to figure that out with like modulation or something. Oh, oops. Modulation. Or maybe I could do it with the filter envelope. Let me try that. sort of. Let me try like a low shelf filter, see what that's all about. Whoa, bro. Low shelf, there we go. And then gain. It seems like I have no idea what I'm doing, but that might be true actually. But let's see. Frequency. Resonance. Oh, there we go. You hear that? Getting a little squelchy. Then I just got to figure out which notes sound good, and then this might work. And we can also add effects to it too, which maybe I'll get into in a second here. And then maybe I can modulate something on it too, which was my original plan. Frequency is 19, resonance is 28. Let's see what it sounds like with the frequency modulated. Sounds kind of weird. All right, let's play with the beat and see what's up. Nice. I think I got something interesting going on there. Let's see. D Kamachu. It's interesting. It's the Lofi12XT, like a baby Digitact. Yeah, I mean, sort of. It definitely has that vibe. It shares some of the features of the Electron stuff, like parameter locks, for instance. And then yeah, it's got a lot of like modulation capabilities, kind of like the Electron stuff. Yeah, maybe it's like a Digitac Lite or something is a good analogy for it. It does have some interesting limitations though, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. This thing is the Dirty Wave M8, or Mate as some people call it. Here, let me bring it up so you can see. Focus, I say. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's a tracker, and I oftentimes just use it as kind of like a sample library sort of device. Like a lot of times what I do is just play samples from this to record into other devices, other samplers. It has a pretty good folder architecture. So for instance, let me back out here. These are like all my hi-hats, but you've got like, you know, whatever, breaks, fills, snares, etc. And then you can audition stuff. Oh man, that's probably pretty loud for you. But yeah, so it's like a cool sample player, but you can also make sick beats on it, which I can show you in a little bit. Yeah, but it is a tracker. So yeah, probably like the Polyend tracker, it's got a unique workflow. We're gonna use politically correct terms here and not say that it's very stressful or interesting to work on. But yeah, this thing trackers are weird. If you can wrap your head around them, they are capable of very complex sequencing, but maybe that's part of the problem too, is that it's just a little too complex to sequence stuff. But yeah, I know how to like kind of get around this thing. I think practice makes perfect, so I've gotten my reps in and I feel a little comfortable using it, but I definitely get that point of like, yeah, trackers are, it's not everyone's weapon of choice, which is totally fine. I feel like groove boxes are a lot easier to create on, generally speaking. But yeah, what do you normally make music on? DCamacho00. Do you use like the Electron products, kind of like the Digitact and stuff? Timing there. Syntact, mostly in the DAW. Yeah, man, the almighty DAW. Hallowed be thy name. Yeah, the DAW is pretty powerful stuff. Hardware is a whole nother beast. It can be frustrating and fun at the same time if you know the feeling. But yeah, the Syntact looks cool. It's yeah, I've seen a lot of the Electron stuff be looking pretty cool, Syntact included. So that's what's up. This part a second ago and now I like totally forgot what I was playing. Pretty sure it was just like these notes, I think. Sound a little wild. Yeah, the M8, it's really weird. It's like, it's not like a Kai MPC or like, you know, one of those big companies that like manufactures music gear. I think it's just like this guy or maybe like a couple people that like came together to create this device, because it's like, supposedly it's based off of something older, like that it was like a Game Boy music making tracker called like LSDJ. I never messed around with that, so I don't know the history of it, but yeah, basically there's like one creator of this device who like manufactures it like kind of on his own or something, or orders parts and stuff. So they have like a pre-order system, and if you get like a notification if there's like units available, and he like sells them in batches, so like people kind of pitch in or whatever. But it's crazy, man. There's like a huge community on this. Like people will go nuts over these devices. There's like I think the Discord, the M8 Discord, there's like 10,000 people in it or something, which is like so crazy. It's always super popping. But yeah, this thing's pretty capable. Here, let me, oh yeah, how am I mixing the Lo-Fi 12 and the M8? How am I mixing? Well, they both do USB audio out, which is really cool because that allows you to just go straight into your computer with it. So they're actually both plugged in via USB, and that's how the audio gets to the stream, like how you hear it. But I also have an analog out on both of them, so you can see the headphone jack here. This is the main out for the M8, and then this one I've got the got these adapters basically for the RCA plugs. But yeah, that's just going into my mixer over here. I have a Mackie, I don't even know, 8-channel mixer. What model is this? It's the Pro FX8 V2. Yeah, the M8, it'd be nice if you could just kind of pick it up. And yeah, be careful of the secondhand market, because some people will buy it when the pre-order goes just so they can sell it during periods where there's not some available. So it's like kind of like a scalper sort of thing. And they'll really jack up the price, which is not great. But yeah, man, if you're interested in this thing, definitely worth keeping an eye on, joining the Discord, maybe like getting on the mailing list or something so they notify you when it's available. But I don't know, man, you said you never really gelled with the Polyend tracker, so this is I don't know. I can't speak from experience with the Polyend tracker, but this thing is a tracker, so I don't know. If you weren't down with the tracker, you might run into trouble with this. Is all I'm trying to say. Okay, but yeah, let me show you some music from this thing. Let's kind of switch it up here. I'm gonna unplug this. Plug this thing in so that I can hear, and then unmute. And see, can you trigger patterns from the M8 on demand for live performance along with muting tracks? Sort of. Yeah, you could sequence stuff like that. Like you could definitely sequence mutes. You could do it live too, though. Here, let me show you how muting works. So I'm gonna do load new world. This is a song we were listening to earlier. And yeah, so basically what I've got here is, oh wait, actually, let me do this. So there's also this like display capture thing for the M8, which is pretty cool. So you can kind of see it in a bigger version. But yeah, so basically what you're looking at is this, like, these columns have like sequences in them. Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is you can, if you hold this button, you can like solo whatever column you're on. So basically you can like kind of mute everything else out and then just solo the one. Like this is the sample chops, this column. So that's why it was like the, you know, whatever. Like the female vocalist and all that stuff. Oh yeah, so capturing the display, it's pretty cool. There's like it's like a website you go to, and as long as you have it plugged in via USB, it can like transmit data to like show what it looks like. So it has this like cool integration in that regard where you can basically just capture like a digital version as long as you have it plugged in via USB. So yeah, this thing, it's a pretty neat device. But yeah, okay, so, and then you were asking about triggering patterns on demand. I mean, yeah, so these are all kind of like patterns, each of these rows essentially. So I could trigger like this one. And then there's a way to mute too. Yeah, you hold Option, then you press Shift, then you see it says the M next to the 2. So that basically gets muted, and then you can let go of Option and it keeps it muted. That's the snare track. So now I've got everything muted except for the sample chops. And then you can unmute really quickly by just using the solo shortcut, which is Option, and then an arrow. There's like filters too. Yeah, I don't even remember what that value is at. But yeah, so yeah, it's kind of like, it's like Shortcut City in this thing, dude. There's like a million, thousand, kajillion shortcuts. So this is like, it comes with this like, oh yeah, let me undo this thing. Yeah, it comes with this like cheat sheet basically. And it's like, It's like, here's like all the ways to like do all this crazy stuff. And there's like a million, yeah. But I don't know. You kind of figure out your way around it. It's like any instrument, really. You just like practice and get reps in with it. And eventually you're like kind of flying through it. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like lightning quick, but I've seen some people post videos where they're just like, they can create a song in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something. And it's got a lot of synthesis engines on it too. So it's not just, I mean, I mostly work with samples. That's kind of my background in terms of like the hip hop type stuff. But yeah, there's like all kinds of instruments on it too. So let's take a look here. So sampler is what I'm using here, but there's like, oh man, these are all samplers. Let me, oh yeah. So wave synth. So it's like a wavetable synthesizer. Macro syn, which is like another kind of synthesizer. I don't know. Sampler, which is what I use quite a bit. FM, frequency modulation. Hypersyn, it's like a, I don't know, some kind of hyper synth, I guess. And then MIDI out. And yeah, the MIDI capabilities on this are pretty advanced as well. You can do MIDI over USB. You can also do MIDI via mini jack. And yeah, you can send, yeah, control change parameters. And I mean, it doesn't have like knobs or anything fun to like kind of fiddle with, but it definitely can send a lot of data and MIDI commands and stuff to different devices. So it can act very much as like kind of the brains of the operation in certain regards if you're willing to kind of deal with the programming on it, which is, I don't know, the programs are weird. Everything's vertical because it's a tracker. And then, yeah, you kind of just have to put notes in. There's a lot of like FX commands and stuff. It's very deep, very, very deep. But yeah, it's a fun device. And dude, see how small this thing is? You like put it in your pocket. It's like kind of as big as like a phone. Let me see. This is like the size of my phone, for example, to compare. So yeah, it's like not as tall as a phone, but it's a little bit fatter basically. But yeah, definitely fits in your pocket if you have an on-the-go lifestyle. Basically, you can take this thing around with you. So yeah, pretty fun stuff. But yeah, I don't even remember what I was doing. You know what we could do probably? I might be able to sample like one of the synthesizers from this and then put it into here. Man, I can't remember where I was at with this beat. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't even like the sound. Okay, so we're gonna remove this. Hear it? Yeah. And then let me do like a new project here so I'm not jacking this one up. New, yep. And then we'll take a look at some of the synthesizers and see if I can find a sound that kind of jives with what I got going on over here. So we're gonna go to, oh yeah, let me do this thing, yep. All right, so let's go to the instruments and see what we get here. And then I might have to turn this thing down to maybe, let me like see. Really? Yeah, it's pretty loud. Bring it down. And it still sounds super loud in my headphones. Dude, this one, like what? I mean, I guess it's noise, so that's kind of the vibe. That one sounds kind of tight. Yeah, not really. I don't know what that's all about. All right, so that's the wave synth. So it's like pretty like Game Boy type sounds or something. Yeah, we can lose changes. And then macro syn. This is maybe more of a traditional synthesizer. Ooh, this one sounds kind of tight. Yeah, I don't know if that really goes with it, but back to C4, see what else we got. Oh man, that was freaking loud too. Dude, this sounds like some nice fat bass though. Let me hear. so pretty cool stuff. Do you recommend the Ambmate for ambient chill out? Ambient chill out. It's a good question. I mean, for ambient, I think there are some like very powerful like generative capabilities of this thing. Like you can kind of like randomize certain parameters so that like sounds can like be very like evolving over time and stuff. So for ambient, you might be able to get some like really cool sort of soundscapes if you get savvy with programming on it. Chill out, is that like chill like lo-fi hip hop type stuff, or is that maybe just like low tempo, down tempo music or something? Okay, so yeah, we were looking at this here. Ooh, that sine wave, dude, that thing sounds fat, yo. Some big old bass. Triple sine. This one sounds tight. I don't know if I'm gonna actually find a sound that goes well with our sample here. This is like kind of a problem of mine. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So that's macro synth. Yeah, we're gonna lose changes. FM synth. Dang, yeah, I'm not really like super knowledgeable when it comes to synthesis, so this thing is like there's a lot of parameters here that I have no idea how they might work. Oh, you know what we could do though? There's instrument presets, so you can change all these parameters, right? And then you can save a copy of your changed parameters as like an instrument, basically. And I think this thing like comes with a bunch of instruments, so let's take a listen. Cool. That bass sounds crazy. Have I ever played a Yamaha Montage? No, I haven't. I do have a Yamaha keyboard, but it's like this really clunky like piece of crap. It's basically just got a bunch of like general MIDI sounds on it and stuff. So yeah, it's not like a workstation keyboard, or I don't know. Is the Montage like, is it kind of like the Motif? Is that Yamaha too? I don't know. Yeah, what's the Montage all about? Whoop whoop. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find anything on here. Yeah, the instruments that are saved on, oh, the successor to the Motif. There you go. Look at that. See, it started with an M, so I was like, Motif, Montage, sounds familiar. No, I never messed around with it. Is that thing pretty sick? Or are you familiar with the Montage? Okay, yeah, and that's like, you know, those are the instruments or whatever. But yeah, this thing just as a sampler is pretty powerful. And then another thing that's cool about it is that you can stream. Ooh, an M6. Dang. Sounds pretty epic. Yeah. All right, so let me see. Might try some other samples here now that we got this thing going. Maybe like a horn sample or something. yeah, oh, I think this horn sample might work actually. I dig the vibes for sure. Let's get it sampled in. So I need to do some OBS configuration here. All right, so we're gonna turn this off. Bye. And then whoops, kind of banged into my mic there. Unplug this. I'm telling you, I have like the jankiest setup here. All right, and then now it should be going directly in. And then I have to mute this as well. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, hey, what's up, D0 Beats? Are you getting your swing when working straight on the M8? Are you using grooves or using the table? Okay, swing on the M8 is it's an interesting topic. Because yeah, there's definitely a couple ways to do it. I'm not savvy enough with the tables to figure it out, but there's some like basic tactics you can use, and then some more like kind of advanced ones. Yeah, here, okay. Let's see if I can pull up an example here. Oh, wait, exit, yes. All right, I would say like probably the most simple way to do it is to just like double the BPM and then adjust the grooves to just be double as well, so that the pattern plays through at a normal rate. So here, I'll show you an example. Let's switch back over, Okay, so we got that, and then I gotta unmute this. And then I want to hear it, so I gotta unplug it. Okay, so let me load up some like basic drum sounds so that we can like kind of go through this. Sampler, load. Let's see what Marlow Diggs has for us. Drums. Yeah, we'll just do something basic. So I'm gonna do a kick. And then we're gonna do a snare. Load. Yeah, all this stuff's kind of quiet though. What's going on, Marlow? Why are you making it so quiet? Okay, let me move this. And then we'll normalize it. Overwrite it, or I gotta crop it too. Sorry this is taking so long. Overwrite. And then, oh yeah, it's like pitched up. So yeah, that's the snare. That's the, yeah, I know this is such a mess. Then we'll do the kick. It's like 120 BPM too. Let me get this thing down. All right, and then we'll do the hi-hat. And that's where you really want to get the micro timing and stuff. So let's do that. Load, hats. All right, I kind of dig this one, but it's only in the right headphone for some reason, which is sort of weird. So let me mono mix. Okay, that's center. Overwrite it. And then we'll do autofill. Okay, so this is sounding pretty basic, right? But what you can do is if you double this is a pretty simple tactic. So we're at 90 BPM. We're gonna double it to 180. But yeah, so it kind of goes crazy when it comes to the tempo. But what you can do is, and this is where it's a little more manageable, is if you go to the groove and then you double this too, this will make it so that it kind of moves through the sequence at what you would expect in terms of like 90 BPM, so like a normal, because yeah, normally when you double the BPM, you end up doubling the number of patterns you have to create, and just like, it's kind of a headache to be honest. But when you double the groove as well, that gives it a normal kind of playhead style. So again, take a look. Right now, it's flying through it. But when we double this, so instead of doing 6, we're going to do 12. Now when I play it, right? But it's at 180 BPM, which you can see. So now it's like again, it's kind of, yeah, so you get more ticks basically. And then that's kind of the next point here, which is if we go to like the kick track, for instance, I can put a kick right before this one, do the del command, and then from here, instead of only having 5 ticks or 6 ticks or whatever, I've got 12. You could do that here too. Yeah, so double resolution, it's not too bad. This thing's kind of quiet. Yeah, so you get a little bit more control. Again, it's not as precise as like a 0 to 100% like micro timing. You're still kind of stuck in like about 10% per tick or something. I haven't done the math, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. But yeah, it gets you a little bit more resolution, so it's quick. There is another method that I used to use, which it was before I discovered that you could double the ticks to make it kind of go normally through the sequence. It's kind of janky, to be honest with you, but basically what I was doing was I would let me see if I can load an example. I might have done it in like this one, maybe. Yeah, let's see. Where are my drums at? Oh, this was I sliced a drum break. Yeah. So yeah, you've got some options. This other method is like kind of hacky, so I'll spare you the kind of long-winded. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. So basically you can, yeah. What I was doing was I would duplicate the sample so that it would be like twice as long, and then I would silence the beginning. And so the way the start command works on the M8 is that you can start the sample playback like later in the waveform or whatever. But if you double it and then you empty the beginning or silence the beginning, it basically gives you like a guaranteed always going to start at the correct point if you set it to 80, the start point, which is like halfway. And then you can kind of just pull it back a little bit. So yeah, that's the other method, is just using that sample start playback thing method. But yeah, like I said, it's a little hacky because you have to create like extra files, you have to save copies and stuff. So it's a little bit it's not as quick, I would say. But yeah, man, how are you getting down on the M8? Do you jive with the workflow and stuff, or is it kind of different than what you normally do and stuff? Oh dang. Oh yeah, I was gonna try and use that horn sample. Crap, I don't even remember where it is. Yeah, man, for sure. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, man, thing's tight. All right, sampler load. Oh yeah, we'll switch it up too. Yeah, that's kind of the only thing with the M8 is that there's just not really like a super, I don't know, flexible micro timing option. You kind of have to like double the BPM or do other weird stuff. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's pretty dope. Okay, and then I have to mute this too. Yep, okay. Yeah, and then let's see if I can find that horn again. of dig this one. Let's see. Edit. Man, it's so quiet though. I'm gonna normalize. It's gonna like totally blow out my speakers here. Let's see. Oh shoot, I duplicated it. Exit, yes. Edit. Normalize. Nice and loud. Okay, and then we're gonna put that one here. Clear. Okay. Oh, it's got like kind of a echo on it. Hold on a sec. Hold the phone here. Ah, crap, I screwed it up again. Oh, did not mean to get that last part. Let's just cut that off here. There we go. Heck yeah, I appreciate that. It's a little repetitive though. Maybe I can pitch it up. Let's see what that, or here, let me save first so I don't lose my progress. And then, yeah, let me try pitching it up 2 semitones. Not work. Oh, I just realized it's not even a slice, so I don't have to resort to this jankiness. Okay, clear the pitch. Oh man, I cleared the note. That's why we saved a copy. Oh yeah, so I can just play it. Yeah. I kind of want us to do like dun 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 dun, but like the dun is gonna be the death of me. It's gonna be really hard to program on this thing. Yeah, what I'm gonna have to do is, here, let me just see if I can identify it. So I think I want it to be right here. I don't know what pitch it needs to be though. So I'm gonna put it here. Oh man, that was a little loud. And then for this step, I'm gonna try and increase the pitch like I was doing before. Or no. So what I'm gonna do here is change the start time to make it start a little bit later, so I don't get that dun dun. It's just the dun, I think. This is how it works in my mind. Let's see if it's actually how it works though. Start time like that. I gotta adjust the end time too. It gets a little tricky when you're programming on this thing. It's got a kind of a quirky way about it. Bringing it back. We can just cut it off right there. This is way too short. Let's bring it out like this. I'm getting close here, but it's trial and errors. Yeah, I think it needs to be a little longer. Hey, what's up, Mad Wreck? What's cracking, man? Okay. Well, maybe I need to do this one too. Wait, crap. What am I doing here? Function clear. Hold this, extend it, or maybe it's the envelope. Not bad. Okay. That sounds sick. This fits really well, but it's calling to me. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, these are weird samples. I got these from like Marlo Diggs or MPC Head. He's like another YouTuber. But yeah, he has his Patreon where if you subscribe, you get like sample packs every month, and he records these like weird sounds on his Moog keyboards and stuff. But yeah, there's always some like weird FX kind of sounds that you can add to beats that it makes for good layers, basically. So yeah, this, let's see if we can get this to work. I'm gonna record it in here. Yep. Oh yeah. Filter on it. The heck? Not even playing. 21. 50%. Oh, the filter. Like gutted it. Nice. So that fit pretty well. Not sure what else. We got 2 extra tracks open, so I can record a couple more samples. I'm trying to think what else I could do to kind of jazz this up. We got the horn. We got the FX. Let's see. Whoa. Dude, I don't even know what the heck this is. Vinyl samples. I kind of vibe with this like high piano. It's like I've already got high piano kind of in the sample, but you know what? Oh, that one's kind of weird. All right, we're doing it. We are doing it. Let me normalize this thing. It's going to sound super crazy. Ooh, nice and staticky, just the way we like it. Oh crap, I didn't want that other note. Let me try that again. I think we got it here. Sound, yep. Yeah, that sounded pretty dope. And then what I'm going to do with these two is like, if they play like every single bar, it's going to get a little bit repetitive. So I'm going to do the probability on them and get them to trigger 50% of the time so that it kind of like, you know, they'll come in and out sort of is the way that I envision this working. 50%. Let's see how that sounds. Yep. Don't even trigger that often really. Maybe I should do it a little higher, 60%. But yeah, D0, I started doing more of this like kind of probability dice type stuff after using the M8, because this device is all about like, you know, you add a chance to do this and a chance to do that, and things kind of evolve naturally. So I started trying to do that on different devices just to see if I could like, I don't know, turn some of the insights that I learned on here into like, you know, making beats on other things. So yeah, definitely worth checking out this sort of like chance probability type stuff on the M8. feel like I get to this point in every beat that I make where I'm like, maybe like a high string would sound sick on this, like, you know, kind of like some like J Dilla type string or something. I don't know. I gotta find a string. Let me see if I can. Here, we'll let this play. Nice, that's what's up. I think this one we might be able to pitch up. Well, let's actually, I can do that here. I think we're onto something here. We're gonna try this out. Okie pad. Oh yeah, let me change some settings here. 12-bit. Oh, whoa, I don't know what that is all about. Try enabling loop mode on this thing. Let's see if I can get a good loop point. Okay, turn this on. And yeah, the way the loop mode works on this is you enable it and then you just have to set the loop points. But it doesn't have independent loop points from, yeah, it's like it's a good register. Appreciate you saying that. But yeah, you can't set loop points independently from the start and stop points or start and end points on this device. It kind of just shares the same, so it's not too much of a deal breaker, but it does make working with certain types of samples more challenging. I think this will be fine though. So let me zoom in kind of tight here. Trying to not get some of that like kind of flutteriness. Although if it's buried in the mix, you probably won't be able to hear it too well. Yo, dude, that sounds kind of sick though. You hear that? Listen to this. Kind of sounds like a really rapid like xylophone, like high end or something. Yeah, it's super weird sounding. It's like just messing around with loop mode, you get these bizarre sounds. I tried turning it down a little bit. record this in, and then I've got some ideas for other ways that we can make this interesting. But yeah, let me just get this in. I have to adjust the envelope too. So we can get even more interesting with it. Yeah, so there's this modulation section on the Lofi12XT, and you can modulate various parameters, such as we've got pitch, sample start time, which would probably sound super crazy on this. We'll try that in a sec. I could put a filter on it. Let's see what pitch sounds like. Pitch is gonna be weird, but we'll check it out. Oh, yo! It's a bit much, but like I think there's a way to kind of tame it or something. I don't know. Yo. I don't know what. No idea what my plan is to this thing, but I'd like kind of just modulating it. It sounds cool. But I want it to be a little more consistent, or maybe I don't actually. Let me listen. Yeah, it sounds kind of wacky, but it's cool. Maybe like a filter. All these kind of sound sick. They all have their interesting, unique sort of flavor, I would say. I'll just keep it with the sine wave for now, and this, I think we're pretty good here. All right, save it so I don't lose it. Man, that's all the tracks too. Holy crap! So let me like start meeting stuff out. See if I can build like a progression here. if only there's a good way to like automate that, because like, yeah, playing it in and kind of switching it from being all like pitch modulated to not being is like, it'd be cool if I could just bring it in and out, but I kind of have to do it by hand. Yeah, all these layers are sounding sick. Let me save this. And then yeah, there was this B section too, but now that I've added like all those layers, it's gonna sound kind of weird. Let's listen. Nice. Okay, cool. Save that. Wow, yeah, that one turned out pretty sick. Yeah, the Lofi12XT. This is it's a fun little box for sure. But yeah, I think that about does it for this session. Got this beat done. Got to dink around on this a little bit at the beginning. But yeah, appreciate y'all rocking with me. Hope y'all have a good rest of your night, and keep an eye out for some more sick streams and video coming out on Sunday as well, which is about the M8 tracker. So feel free to check it out, and catch y'all on the flip side. Later.